1021, he's a larger-than-life character himself. Now David Hasselhoff is making an appearance in a comic book. The Hoff has been turned into a time-travelling spy in a series created by Welsh comic book artist Simon Williams. And Simon joins us now. Good morning to you, Simon.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you very much indeed. Why the Hoff, and what does he say about the comic book?
When I was coming up with the idea for Retro Tales, the nature of the comic is that they're superheroes based in the 70s, 80s kind of era. I was thinking to myself, it would be really cool to have some kind of genuine guest stars, and the top of the list was David Hasselhoff, because I'm a long-time fan. David actually really likes the comic, and at the recent Cardiff Film and Comic Con, he was going all out to help promote it as well.
Yeah, what does he think of it?
He loves it. He loves it, and he loves the ideas that we're collaborating on for the actual spin-off of which the Hoff will be spinning off into his own comic and hopefully a cartoon show, and he really loves it.
Simon, when do we get to see this comic?
Hopefully January.
Right.
We're Retro Tales. We're hoping to get out in January, and then David's project will spin off from that.
Right. Okay. So, have you met him? When did you first meet him? And did he give you permission to use the Hoff?
Well, that was the thing. I emailed his website, and I just said, would it be okay to feature David in a cameo? And within 2 hours, I had an email back off his agent asking about the comic, and which kind of blew me away. And it all went from there. I've met David several times. I actually chat to him on Skype, which is fantastic and surreal at the same time. But he's great.
He loves the Skype, doesn't he? He loves the Skype because, I don't know if you know, he's got a connection with Welsh rugby as well, insofar as he has a Welsh girlfriend. In fact, I'm not too sure whether they're engaged. And he's a big fan of Welsh rugby, and the boys at Scrum 5 in the room just not far from here, actually, have contacted him before now, and he's actually pre-recorded an item via Skype. He loves it. Yeah,
he's hooked on it now. He loves Wales. I mean, I've met Hayley, she's a lovely girl, and I think since his connection through Hayley, he really loves all things Wales, and I think that kind of helped with me being a Welsh comic artist, and the connection with the comic and all that. So he was speaking about it at the Comic Con, actually, how much he loves Wales.
When did you start drawing comics?
Professionally, 2003. I started working. My first professional work was Transformers for Panini Comics.
Really?
Yeah. Before I broke into the business, I set up an online portfolio and then just emailed the address out to different companies, and Panini were the first ones to get in touch and said, "We're starting a new Transformers comic. Would you be willing to work on it?" And I was like, "Wow, yeah, definitely."
Was this when Transformers burst onto the scene?
Yes, it started making its comeback around about then. I mean, the fans kind of kept the franchise going when it wasn't in the spotlight, and it regained popularity again in around about 2003.
All right, so you weren't there first time round with Transformers Robots in Disguise?
I was, yeah.
You were there for that?
I've still got my original Optimus
Me too.
Prime.
Yeah, I was there for that as well. The new style Transformers washed over me. I was out of it by then, but I remember Transformers Robots in Disguise. They were cool. So it'll be available in January, and do we have to pay for this, or can we see it online?
It will be for sale. Hopefully it'll be for sale in comic shops all over the world, and it will also be available online as well, because we want to make sure that it's available through as many different mediums as possible.
Right. Does he have any special powers, this Hoff?
The Hoff is going to be a time-travelling James Bond-style super agent.
Sounds cool.
So he won't have any powers as such, but he'll have special gadgets which will help him in his missions. He's got a supercomputer who helps him called the Hoff, and he'll be based at the Hassel Castle.
Brilliant stuff. Look forward to it, Simon. Thank you very much indeed. 10:26, Simon Williams. Good stuff.
Thank you.